Hi, everybody.
Hello.
You know, in another dialogue, when we were saying hi in different languages, you said sayonara, which is goodbye. Did you realize that? I wasn't quick enough in mine that day, but that was pretty cool. Anyway, I'm Christopher Phillips. This is Partner in Crime.
Cecilia Phillips.
My hair is tousled.
What?
My hair? What have you been doing to me? Look at that.
Oh, it's lovely.
It is lovely. Lovely. So, Cecilia, I've got a Socrates Cafe question for you. You don't even know what it is.
I don't.
Because most of our stuff these days relates to parenting when we do the video. So the other day, Callie was asking us, is the spirit what leaves your body when you die?
Mm-hmm.
And you quickly said,
No.
no, what could you possibly think? And you said, what'd you say?
No, well, not just what it lives, but I mean, it lives in you. I mean, it's part of you, even if when you're alive.
Right.
It's not your body.
Well, you've been a very nice body. But why'd you say that to her? Should we really influence
Well,
her beliefs?
well, no. I mean, she was asking a question. I know. I mean,
No, she
well,
was saying, she said,
yeah,
isn't the spirit what leaves your body when you die?
yeah.
You know, I actually had a little Socrates Cafe with her, but I felt it was so personal I didn't really want to air it about the spirit, about her beliefs in the spirit. But I'm wondering, how far should we go in influencing their, metaphysical beliefs?
Um, well, I guess everything is, I mean, even if we don't want, even the way we live or whatever influences them, even if we don't mean it. I think she was asking more in terms of, well, for one thing, just remembering her parents, like her her
Her She said she
grandparents.
saw, believes that they're like even a physical entity, a spirit is. Um, but how far should one go and say, no, that's not what a spirit is, this is what a spirit is? Or is there even any such thing?
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, I think what I meant is that it's not, I mean, when you, I guess in my belief system, I mean, when you die,
Ah, so you have a belief system.
I do. Well, do
Okay.
you?
Oh, no. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, your belief
See, I play it
system
safe,
is
right?
that there's no,
No, I do.
what-
I do. Anyway, go ahead. Your
yeah.
belief system.
Well, in my belief system, I think the spirit is who you are. It's the essence of this person. It's not my hair. It's not how I look. It's not my age. You know, it's more what makes me. Which I mean, you can argue. Well, isn't it your actions and your
That's what I
beliefs
told
and
Callie. I
everything?
said, for me, spirit is what I what I leave behind in my
What I
in my
do.
wake.
Yeah.
But not just when I'm dead, but just anytime, or it's what I'm doing right now. Like I was thinking, well, when I'm not here anymore, if I'm the first to go, would my presence still be felt in my books and my actions and in the actions of my children and in your actions and stuff, and hopefully for the better. Um, it's like, and I told Callie about how spirit, in the dialogue we had about how indigenous people believe spirit is an animating force that's throughout nature, not just in human beings, but in trees, which I find not disagreeable. But so I wonder how much a parent should influence. Like we've got a 10-year-old and a 3-year-old, and they've been to Christian schools. They've been to had different educational experiences. They've been to schools where there's some people with indigenous blood, and I wonder. I mean, I went through when I was a teenager. Sort of carried a pocket Bible, and I attempted to speak in tongues and things. Ah, you're laughing.
No, but it's the way you say it, not what you're saying. You remember?
Well, no, and I remember I was part of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes when I was in high school, and the guy who led it got really upset with me when I asked too many what he considered pesky questions. So, I mean, is it spirit something that should be confined, or is a spirit a questioning spirit, something that's ever, sort of mysterious, but you're still probing and trying to discover more? So I just wonder, when a child asks, clearly, when a child of ours clearly believes the spirit is what leaves your body when you die, and you want to maybe know where she got that thought from, should you try in any way to influence it?
Yeah. I mean, I think they get influences everywhere. Like, she's in a school where a lot of the kids are Catholic, even if the school is not, and so, it's like to want to feed, like a friend of hers told her, oh, you can't be a Buddhist because you're not a vegetarian, So she got, I mean,
Are Buddhists vegetarians?
well, not necessarily, but that's what her friend said to her. So
Oh, wow.
so she got like, so what am I, because it's like, she knows I was raised Catholic, and and so she asks, constantly she asks me, so what are we, what do we believe in? And I said, well, I'm not sure, and I explained to her, and she said, so what does it mean to be a Catholic? What do you need to believe? And so I kind of told her what she needs to believe, and I told her about the Ten Commandments. And all
Did you show her
that.
how you make the sign?
No.
No? No, but I mean, like, I remember when I was a child, I went to Greek Epiphany because my dad, he wasn't a real believer, but he went to Greek Orthodox Church. But I think as he got older, he did sort of come back to some more traditional beliefs. And so, I wish when Callie had asked us that, we were actually walking along the street in a harried city. I wish we had just gone into a cafe and sat down and just talked about it.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I almost felt like saying this, let's wait, let's hold off instead of, because she asked us sort of a yes-no question.
Yeah.
I wish we had just waited and I ended up, I did have this dialogue with her that I've sort of kept to myself. It's a beautiful thing, actually. It's beautiful to see what her thoughts are at this stage. But at the same time, it's so intimate that I'm still wrestling with whether it's something I would want to share. Because I'm also wrestling with just letting her explore her beliefs as ideas are presented to her, and letting her, work it out. And then I think this man who at one time supported our nonprofit, he was so disappointed because he was like this real dyed-in-the-wool atheist. And he was just so disappointed that his daughter ended up following what he considered a rather cultish belief system, and I won't say what it is. He just like shook his head. He couldn't believe that somebody of his family, remember that? But he was just really disappointed. And so I wonder if one of my daughters follows a certain path that I find antithetical to critical thinking.
To Christian.
Well, yeah, but I think you can be some of the most incredibly socially conscious people who have really been movers and shakers in creating a more egalitarian world have come from deep-rooted Christian faiths or Muslim faiths or Hindu faith, and many others besides. And so I asked myself, what should I, if anything, should I try to steer them towards considering? Or should I just sort of, create a household like we've done and create social situations like we've done where they're just, presented a lot of possibilities. And they might grab onto one that we don't like. If they're impressionable and we feel like they're too influenced, should we do something? And if so, when? All those things are just coming to my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree. I think.
Agree with what? What did I say?
I agree. Agree that we need to question everything.
No, but you've sort of, since your father's death, you've been really become a lot part of Shambhala and learning a lot about Buddhism. I believe his beliefs influenced you after. Is that fair to say, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because my dad was Catholic his whole life. But then, I guess in the last, what would I say, 30 years of his life, he, studied Buddhism.
And how did he come to that?
I don't know how they actually got into. I mean, I know they started. Both of my parents started going to taking just kind of meditation classes at Casa Tibet, Mexico, which is like Tibet, Mexico house or whatever in Mexico City. And so then, they took a lot of just the teachings and how, I mean, like Buddhists do this ritual when you die, to help separate the spirit from the body.
And see, I find beauty in the ritual, whether I believe in it or not.
Yeah, yeah, and we did it. I mean, it was a beautiful thing when my dad died. It was my mom and all four of us just holding hands around him and just kind of guiding, whatever. Just like kind of helping him separate from his body and helping him guide, like towards the light or whatever,
No, I think it's beautiful. I wished our dads died within 6 months of each other. And of course, I wasn't even informed of my father's death until many hours after he died because of tragic circumstances. And I would give anything to have had that opportunity to perform or be part of some sort of goodbye ritual. And again, whether I agree in any specific belief system, just the ritual of prayer, of being open and maybe crying out to the universe. I consider myself an openist. I don't consider myself, I'm open to possibilities. I do like evidentiary-based things, but I think we're still in the dark ages in terms of developing instruments to come up with what still exists.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they're starting to sort of think about the fact that there's universes within universes within universes, and there's gazillions of planets out there. So, yeah, it's
a mystery.
Yeah, I think then what I'm thinking is I need to, especially my older daughter right now, is just allow her to be exposed to a lot of different things, not just belief systems in terms of religious faiths, but in terms of scientific thought. Lots of kinds of thought, because there's camps, there's of thinking in virtually any field, in writing even, and how that can influence you, but just to sort of maybe encourage a curious, probing nature. But
yeah. I mean, I think one of the best tools that you are giving her is to question, not just to take anything, whatever your teacher says or whatever you read in the internet or, just because it was in a book to take it as a true belief, but rather to question it and see, I mean, does it work for me? Does it make any difference in my life?
But what about the parent who says, I want to give my child a firm foundation and beliefs? I don't want her to feel like we're just all over the map.
It's shaking, like the floor is shaking.
But yeah, and I certainly can understand that. But then I look at the beautiful natural openness of a child, and I think, they don't need it. They just don't need what we adults think that we as adults need. We try to foist on them quite often things just because we suddenly want an anchor when we didn't need it as a young person.
Yeah. Well, I think that it is human nature to feel to feel certain security, and I think that's a lot of what many faiths systems are based on. It's like, just like the very question of why are we here? It can be unnerving,
The unnerving question is, are we here? Says, I'm not convinced that we are.
I see. Pinch me.
Well, no, I mean, we can agree on it, but I don't think we can say for 100% sure. So I try not to think about it too much. It gives me a headache. I usually go, so yeah, I think that I think I still want to go to a cafe with all of us, me, you, Callie, and Sib, and explore her question more. Because I just explore it. And maybe not coming up with any definitive answer of any sort. But not to say that if she says a certain thing, not to say that's not what it is, but just saying, well, I believe or some others believe that.
Absolutely.
And here's some other ways. But
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Not to validate it or refute it.
Yeah.
But just to let her explain herself. But I do. I wonder where it'll go. Because we haven't tried to fix them with any certainty. I mean, Callie's gone to Shambhala with you, and she's enjoyed it. And they had these wonderful sessions for kids. And she went to the Carmicholing camp in Vermont, and I think she got a tremendous amount. And again, I keep thinking of ritual, and how ritual itself can be a really liberating experience. A passage, whether you believe in the overarching thing or not. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I was thinking about that, that she went through the rites of passage, which many cultures, many traditions have it, just kind of, doesn't mean that you're an adult, but that you're, that you
It's really
take
neat.
a little bit more responsibility.
Wasn't there this thing when you wake up early in the morning and you go
Yeah.
watch the sunrise, and it's like, that's a heady experience and something that you'll never forget. It's just like, cool. And so maybe you just take that experience with you. Just the experience about having a dialogue with your parents as relative equals about what spirit might be, in and of itself, can just be transformative, I think. Become more thoughtful, I guess. Yeah, I'm becoming thoughtful, if you know what I mean. It's just 2 days after Valentine's Day. Any further thoughts?
Well, no, I mean, it's just really to keep something that perhaps you'll never have an answer, that you just keep on exploring and you live your life based on whatever belief systems you have. And you're right. I mean, again, what I say may not be true for her. And, and again, what I think it's just a thought. It's not definite in any way.
And then a belief system could just be to be happy. Don't worry, be happy. I mean, it could be keep on the sunny side, always on. I mean, seriously, people try to do that, and some people do it. I don't always like to be sunny. Some of my favorite people, most accomplished people, were rather morose, but they did some amazing things. So, all right, I'm spent. Are you spent? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's what you say in Spanish when it's like, I
Yeah.
think we've basically covered all the ground. Until next time, this is Mommy and Daddy, Chris and Ceci Phillips. Happy 2 days after Valentine's Day.
Happy 2 days after
I
Valentine's
believe in you, and I believe in love. I do, I do. El amor todopoderoso. I do.
Me too.
Bye-bye. All the
Bye.
professionals wave. No, your hand is not.
Wait.
Yeah. No, I
Where's
mean,
the
now you
camera?
can say sayonara.
Sayonara.
Yeah, see, you said it last time we were saying
Sayonara.
hello, and I'm like, something's wrong with this picture, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Now I know what it was. But I corrected you, right? Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Isn't that hello or something like that?
Konnichiwa.
Good. Yeah. Anyway, that's another discussion.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.